Good evening and welcome to UBC News tonight at 8 p.m. with me, Sharon Chomdisha. Let's take a look at our top stories of the day. Coming up on UBC News tonight, Museveni holds bilateral talks with his Algerian counterpart. Right Reverend Onesmus Asimwe installed Bishop of North Chijezi. Still to come, government to salvage stalled Toro fertilizers factory. And later on, Sam Lyomochi hails Parliament for NSSF report. Good evening and once again welcome to UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Chomdisha. In UBC News Tonight today, President Museveni has held talks with his Algerian counterpart at his president's palace, Algiers, and later laid a wreath at the monument and then toured the military museum. President Museveni is in Algeria on a three-day trip visit. President Museveni is on the second day of a three-day trip to Algeria at the invitation of the President of Algeria at Bonn. The two heads of state are expected to attend the first ever business forum between Uganda and Algeria in Algiers. Uganda has exported a number of items to Algeria, including milk, coffee, beef, poultry, and other agricultural products, although exports are still low. The export earning from Algeria stood at $2 million according to the Bank of Uganda report 2020.
Once again, it's African Excellency wrote that Algeria will organize a preparatory meeting for the non-aligned movement in next summer, in June or July. And Excellency the President, I would like to express through this forum to express the stable position of the Republic of Uganda to be in solidarity for the decolonization movement of the Western Sahara and defending the Palestine state for its liberation. So we have the duty with the African leaders to intensify our efforts, to double our efforts, collective efforts, in order to have more political and material support for the Palestinian and Western Saharan people, and inviting the international community to assume its historic responsibility and to enable them to their independence and self-determination at the end. All the consequences of the crisis that are taking place in the world and our continent, many of the African countries are suffering from internal crisis. I would like to praise the role played in order to reinforce stability and peace, particularly in the Sahel region, and Algeria that is chairing the peace and national reconciliation in Mali, considers that the agreements signed in 2015 is the suitable framework for settlement of the crisis in this country. With your permission, I would like to talk about the good offices and the peaceful settlements that we're making. I would like to praise the participation, the contribution of your country in the mediation in order to settle the problem in DRC. Wishing you full success while you are continuing your efforts in order to find a peaceful solution in this conflict that has become a real human crisis. Long live friendship between Uganda and Algeria, and I thank you for your kind attention. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Excellency, my delegation and myself are very happy to be here on your invitation on the state visit, and we have had a very fruitful discussions as we discussed in our private meeting. Modern prosperity is based on the production and sale of goods and services, which means therefore you need three actors. You need a producer of goods and services, but you also need a consumer, the one who buys. If you don't have enough buyers, the business will not thrive. That's why, since 1980, the African leaders realized the issue of economic integration through the Lagos Plan of Action. It has taken time to be realized, but we are moving. We have now agreed on the CFTA, the Continental Free Trade Area. But in order for that to happen, you must have peace in the country, in the continent. And that's why, therefore, the discussion between His Excellency and myself focused on the issue of peace in Africa. After peace, then you need infrastructure. And as you heard, Algeria has already moved on that front by building communication linkages through the Sahara to West Africa. That's a very positive contribution. I hope a railway system will be built between North Africa, between the Maghreb and West Africa, because that one would make trade much easier. But we are continuing, and we have got same ideas with Algeria. Apart from the continental efforts, the common market of Africa, which is now 1.5 billion people. However, by 2050, the population of Africa will be 2.5.
Now, following a directive of the President, Prime Minister Robert Nabanja has made on-the-spot inspection of the stalled phosphate manufacturing plant in Osukuru Toro district. The purpose of the inspection was to identify challenges facing the factory to enable government take necessary interventions to have it back to operation.
The multi-million-dollar phosphate manufacturing plant in Osukuru Toro district has stalled for over 2 years. Government has planned to initiate interventions aimed at getting this project out of its current crisis.
So this is the dressing plant, and the other side, the equipment is for iron concentrate. Here is phosphate concentrate. So when the phosphate is taken out, the slag will go to the other side for the iron concentrate. That is for iron. Yeah, so this is the dressing plant.
How long has it been redone
like this? Since 2021. Then we stopped manufacturing, but we sold the fertilizer up to end of 2021.
Yeah, that's true. I came here 2021,
yes.
And there was still a lot of fertilizer.
Yes.
It's now over. And
now it's over. We have sold them.
Sitting on over 265 square kilometers of land, The Uganda-China Free Zone of International Cooperation project had planned to produce 300,000 tons of fertilizers, among other products. On behalf of government and the people of Uganda, the Prime Minister expressed concern, seeing such a big fertilizer plant suffocated and dormant. It was evident that no major operations had taken place at this factory. The installed infrastructure, such as buildings and the machinery, lay in silence. A number of bags of bioorganic fertilizer in stock had gathered dust.
We want to appreciate the investor for the resilience and the patience that they have exhibited in waiting for this matter to be resolved.
We trust you are going to rejuvenate this project.
Nabanja stressed the need to do sustainable exploitation of natural resources to enable the country achieve the much-needed economic transformation.
Uganda is an agricultural country, and we are these days talking in terms of PDM, and we have a lot of hope that our people are going to be as productive as possible. So we need the fertilizers in this country. So the president directed me to come and inspect and do the monitoring of this facility so that we can come up with resolutions that can help this facility to move forward, and also, if it's possible, to attract other investors who can come to work side by side with this company.
Currently, government is implementing a flagship program called the Parish Development Model that should benefit from increased fertilizer production. Nabanja said the president had established a cabinet subcommittee led by Minister in charge of Science and Technology, Dr. Monica Musenero, to take lead in reviving this phosphate factory.
The president wants to see how to help the people of Tororo. This is for you, the people of Tororo. It is yours. Look at it as a baby. Some of us do not have such investments in our areas. But that does not stop us from assisting people who have got this opportunity. Ugandans must learn to help investors. Ugandans, this is from me, as an individual, not as the Prime Minister. Ugandans must learn to own investments in their areas. If you don't own, how many jobs are lost here? How many people were benefiting from this facility? Those who were selling Goja, Chapat, those who were cleaning. How many jobs have we lost? So let us protect investors going forward.
Others present during the guided tour of the phosphate facility included State Minister for Defense Jacob Oboth, State Minister in charge of Teso Affairs Ongalo Obote, State Minister for Energy Okasai Opolot, area members of parliament, local leaders, and senior government officials.
Kashaka Girls Secondary School in Kashari, South Mbara District has remained the only government-aided secondary school that has never benefited from infrastructural government-funded programs. This has been disclosed by the headmistress, Kashaka Girls Secondary School Mbara, Mrs. Jolie Kabigumila, at the Thanksgiving ceremony for their good performance. Anyene has a detailed report.
Construction of a laboratory block at Kashaka Girls Secondary School Mbarara, that was initially launched by President Yoweri Museveni in 2015, has been relaunched after stalling for years. The Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, Sarah Mateke, relaunched the construction and also commissioned the school sick bay constructed by the school's old girls.
One thing I have assured them, as they had promised, the president had promised to them, and I have told them that I'm going to follow it up. It might have been an oversight, but I'm going to follow it up to make sure that government comes in to support the rebuilding of the laboratory. And remember, our president has always emphasized studying sciences. And of course, we cannot do much when we do not have laboratories.
Mbarara District Woman Member of Parliament affirmed to the school management that she will continue to lobby for the school.
I want to promise as a Member of Parliament where Kashaka Girls is that I'm going to follow up this issue. One, to make His Excellency remember of his promise, and secondly, to follow up with the Ministry of Education and the Education Parliamentary Committee, which is headed by Honorable Ntamuhira, our brother here in Bunyaruguru, to ensure that the 3.2 billion that is due for this laboratory is put into budget.
The resident district commissioner Mbarara Tuliabajenyi Emikatera appreciated parents for supporting the administration for a steady growth of the school. The chairperson Mbarara district Tabaro Didas said government is to coordinate with management to ensure the school gets the best infrastructure.
Now, in more stories, the former Workers' Member of Parliament, Dr. Sam Diomoki, has held the parliamentary report on the state of affairs at the National Social Security Fund, despite being among the key people recommended to be recalled from the NSSF board. He says the report will be embraced to make informed decisions and harmonize the safety of the workers' savings. Now, Parliament put it on record that Diomoki's nomination to the board was illegal and should be recalled. Details follow.
Former Workers' Member of Parliament Dr. Sam Diomoki pursued the medical profession after being inspired by his mother, a former celebrated midwife.
When I became a doctor in the early 90s, all the doctors were going outside for green pastures.
Diomoki decided to practice his profession in Uganda amid the challenges, and later he became the vision bearer for the formation of Uganda Medical Workers Union to encounter the challenges facing the medical field, including low salary and other occupational hazards, among others.
We were registered as a union, and that's how I became a general secretary. And then that year we had issues, we head on with government, pushing for increment of salaries.
Drawing rights from the Labour Unions Act 2006, which quashed the monopoly of NOTU as the sole trade union, recognizing COFTU as the second trade union, Dr. Diomoki was again a strong pillar during this transition.
So they ruled, and the court granted us that it was unconstitutional for you to have only one center. So the court ruled that workers, you can only come together if you so alike as one center, but you have the freedom to form another center. So that's why now COFTU was now sort of like recognized by the Constitutional Court.
Diomoki then took the mantle of the Secretary General of COFTU. God
talked to me in an audible voice. I was in church praying in the overnight, I go for overnight prayers, and then I had someone, a voice telling me, leave.
Yeah.
And I looked around, there was no one. So I believed what people wanted me to be a Secretary General, but this union is so dear to me. How do I? So it was like God was answering, leave this one and be a Secretary General.
Since 1996 until 2021, Dr. Sam Diomoki was the Member of Parliament representing the workers. After he lost the 2021 elections, Diomoki was quick to deem the exercise as irregular. He explains why.
The electoral colleges were sort of prone to manipulation and sort of like patronage.
The former MP later was appointed by Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development to the board of NSSF, a move which was contested highly by some stakeholders in the union.
And then, of course, finally the SEC, after analyzing the whole matter, they agreed that their petition was frivolous because actually there had been a process, and some of them even had attended the other meeting. And then it was resolved that this matter be rested.
Even after an agreement to allow the matter rest, it was later resurrected during the investigations by a select committee of Parliament, which got proof that the nominations of both Diomoki and Penina Tukamwesiga to the NSSF board were illegal and should be recalled.
The committee recommends that the minister responsible for labour should write to COFTU to recall and legitimately nominate 2 members for appointment in accordance to their constitution.
Even it was not required that we should have meetings, but we even have gone next to having meetings. Why is it that this particular one is having issues? That was the challenge, because we have used it throughout. This is the 50th time.
As events kept unfolding, some leaders under COF2 impeached Dr. Sam Lyomoki from the Secretary General of COF2, citing corruption and failure to provide accountability for funds under the organization. The meeting resolved that Anthony Wanyama replaces Lyomoki.
They are shown in the probable report of Parliament, and therefore SEC is going to write to them to make accountability, to provide accountability of the funds that they got in the names of affiliates.
We must drive COF2 and give it a new rebirth, and it begins now and today. The structures of COF2 must operate, because COF2 is not for one person.
Lyomoki calls the meeting which impeached him illegal, saying the members who attended were hired.
We also discovered that these people, the ones who said they had the meeting they called SEC, they're also being funded by certain forces within this type of NSSF to make sure that they can blackmail me, so that I look as if I don't have a constituency.
Irrespective of the events, Dr. Sam Lyomoki welcomes the recommendations of Parliament Select Committee with optimism of enhancing informed decisions.
Because investigations of this nature, they sort of like prevent future challenges, so because they have added value, because now there are a lot of areas that I see as reforming. We also are awaiting the outcome of the IGG and the Auditor General and also other institutions, and I think all this will assist us to improve on the situation.
The Select Committee report on the state of affairs at NSSF was adopted by Parliament and now awaits implementation by the respective executive body. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Daniel Mugoya and Gloria Gwitabinji. More than 50 primary teachers across Bugisu sub-region have resolved to fight homosexuality and all forms of child abuse. The teachers passed the resolution while meeting the Executive Director of the National Children Authority, Martin Chiza. We have details from Stephen Kayumba as he reports about this. Take a look.
Very important.
The Executive Director of the National Children Authority, Martin Chiza, has held a meeting with primary school teachers in and around Bugisu sub-region with an aim of retooling them about teenage marriages and same-sex relationships. Some of the primary schools visited include Wambwa and Nabuyonga primary schools.
Sexuality is that bad vice where a man meets a man sexually, a woman meets a woman sexually. These are very, very bad manners and dangerous practices in our country. They have come up already in our societies. Please, we are coming here to alert you to watch out against that. They will spoil you, they will spoil your future, and you will die. You understand?
Yes, sir. A teacher from Nabugoma Primary School, Mary Motoni, said there is an emerging problem of child abuse, defilement and incest which has to be fought.
Defilement, child labor, even child abuse, incest, all those. Those are some of the common child abuses in my community.
The National Children Authority, Martin Chiza, advised parents to talk to the child in a friendly manner in order to address some of the emerging problems.
Listening to children, giving them a chance to talk to you, you will be fulfilling the provision I talked of, the child participation pillar as a right of the child. Children have feelings. Children are human beings. Children have concerns. And now, especially now the girl child, she would like to talk to you, maybe the mother or the father.
At the same time, he met students of Wambwa Primary School and Nabuyonga Primary School and advised teachers and pupils to appreciate tree planting for environmental protection.
Promoting the protection of the environment. You've heard of the climate change challenges. So we have also disseminated, and we are continuing to disseminate tree seedlings like shade trees, fruit trees in schools, so that children, the school management, first and foremost appreciates this. And through the child rights clubs, children also engage in conserving the environment.
Mbale District Education Officer Lydia Musungu appealed to teachers of Mbale to guide and counsel children against emerging Western culture-oriented practices.
Clubs help us help students to tap from one another and also sharing their experiences.
Martin Kiza also met community development officers from Bugisu sub-region.
Of the PDM program. They are the focal point persons down there in planning and mobilizing the success of this program, the PDM. So we have come up with the resolutions that the CDOs should come up with mapping initiatives, looking at households, how many children are in a setup of a family, so that if you have statistics, that's how you can effectively plan. Without numbers, you will not plan.
Also watching UBC News tonight as we continue. A key forum for democratic change figure in Rukungiri district, Henry Mugarura, has crossed to the ruling NRM party. Mugarura, a business tycoon in Kampala, announced his comeback on Saturday in the presence of Rukungiri NRM chairperson and Minister for Security, Major General Jim Muhwezi. Mugarura claimed that FDC party has lost its ideology and strategy of taking power, and he has joined the NRM party for development. We're so sorry about that, but we'll have pictures later in the 10 p.m. bulletin. Moving on from that, government and school administrators have been urged to ensure that there are structures to handle the mental challenges for learners at school. It has been realized that many pupils and students struggle with mental-related issues, but there are no structures that can help them at school level. Take a look.
Students and pupils are faced with different mental health-related challenges that in turn affect their performance. Kahunde Shamusa Mariam, an A-level student at Rowell Girls, recalls how COVID-19 inflicted emotional stress on her since many of her relatives suffered from the disease.
Mainly, most of the people in our family faced COVID-19, and when they faced COVID-19, I was on fear that I am the next, and I would sleep in the house and my mom is in the next room and be like, what if she doesn't wake up tomorrow? What if I don't get to see her again? And then things just got out of hand from there.
Now, Awesome Mind Speaks, a non-government organization, is working with the Ministry of Education and Sports and other partners to popularize the relevancy of mental health in schools.
Mental health has not been given a lot of attention, including in resources like a mental health curriculum that can guide all organizations, companies that want to do mental health in schools, to have a guide. The budget itself, the facilities themselves, some of these facilities like the sick bay don't have psychologists in them, which affects very many young people who want to talk about mental health. When you see the teachers themselves, teachers don't have enough knowledge on mental health, but besides that, also teachers are going through mental health challenges, and there is no support system that can support teachers also deal with their mental health. And you find that sometimes they impose these on the students, and you hear that, okay, this teacher beat a student too bad, or this student, abused a teacher too bad, or there is school dropouts, teachers are striking. Some of these things are not material needs, some of these things are mental.
A total of 6 schools gathered at Hana International School to discuss how mental health-related challenges affect them and how they can be addressed.
I do really appreciate these campaigns because they have given such a wide can I call it, platform to we the students, because a lot of students in here are really facing are really combating worries with their mental health, but the mere fact that they now have a platform where they can come up and assess those issues, they decide to hide them, and that is what later comes into depression. It becomes having lethal thoughts that can lead you to suicide.
The Principal Educational Officer at the Ministry of Education and Sports, Peace Businje, challenged teachers to refrain from causing mental stress to the learners, but instead be the solution to their challenges.
How are you encouraging this decision? Be understanding, please, and be realistic.
Be motivational. Some of you are discouragers. Look at how she's making a noise in the class, and yet she was even the last in the paper that we did. Oh my God. Now for us as class, we say, pure answers who are actually even keeping confidentiality. I will say, no, come here, please, you're making noise. But even that you are the last. You see that I'm giving this person. I'm telling them when we are true. No one likes to be humiliated. Even you. These children are children, yes, they are ananas, but they are also human beings. They are human beings. And then we shall talk about it. And this child is going to wait for his strategies for how they are going to improve. And I'll tell you, Bishop, how they will improve.
Many people in the country, learners inclusive, are facing mental health challenges, especially due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic that affected individuals differently. Adia Nakute, UBC.
But your friends who are doing the right thing?
Ministry of Health has challenged institutions training health professionals to focus on quality but also areas that are relevant to the current health needs of the country. The Director of Curative Services in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Charles Olaro, points out that Uganda now needs creative thinkers in the health profession who can use innovation to improve health by being for the population. Take a look.
The Director of Curative Services in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Charles Olaro, has challenged the institutions involved in training health professionals to focus on quality. Olaro was speaking at the 13th graduation ceremony of Clark International University, where over 300 health professionals excelled in different health disciplines.
WHO puts health workforce as one of the key building blocks. And for you to be able to achieve effective delivery of health services, definitely you need health human resources, the number which you want, but also in terms of skill mix. So Clark University is one of those universities which trains health workers, and the production is the beginning line of health workers.
The leadership of Clark International University pledged to contribute to addressing gaps in the health human resource, but also challenge trainees to adhere to the health.
We know that for many years we have not trained what we need, both in terms of numbers and also in terms of quality. So Clark International University is trying to contribute to close that gap. We do have gaps both in the private and in the public sector of these key resources.
Cleaned the wounds, took them to an inn, paid everything that was needed to be paid. Be kind as you execute your commitment.
Renowned entrepreneur Amos Wekesa was the guest speaker and urged young people to be innovative and contribute to the betterment of Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
And if you have a chance in life, this country, you see two things. You see God's creation. You see how wonderful this country is. Sometimes they post pictures about Uganda, and people are shocked. Is this Uganda? Not only are they shocked, sometimes think I'm taking pictures of another country. Yes, I was posting pictures of the results and I'm like, this can't be Uganda. These are educated people. But also you see abject poverty, and it's not necessary. And for the young people, your positions and wherever you are, the competition is getting tough.
Clark International University started with the aim to improving training of health resources for health.
Moving on, Barra City is slowly growing into an industrial hub. Investments and businesses are growing daily. However, the city administration is worried of the increased cases of counterfeit products. Take a look as Amon reports.
Since its elevation to a city status, Mbarara City has been in a drive of ensuring high standards to be rated among the top cities in the country. Apart from the high tower buildings mushrooming, the status of roads has been priority, boosting business. Now the city mayor has launched a fight against counterfeit products in the city. The painting industry raised concern to the mayor, who rose up with a warning against counterfeit paint.
Now our people in Mbarara take advantage of this store because it provides all the convenience when you are shopping, and the customer service is a bit stepped up. because you are given more time, and there's a lot that happens in a Kara Hero store. Like you see, there are a lot of sales materials here for you to take advantage of. We are sure this is just a beginning. Others will also embrace the same, and then we shall be able to serve our customers in the best way possible.
On the same ground, Plascon, the leading manufacturer of paint, stretched further its arm to the southwestern part of the country.
My name is Santosh Gumte. I'm the managing director of Kansai Plascon Uganda. First of all, I'm very happy to be here in this first of its kind Hero Center in Barara, and I hope other hardware shops also take leaf out of it and start upgrading their stores. It gives a much nicer experience to the end user, and also it gives a lot of product knowledge to them, which is very important when you are buying paint. We have a problem with counterfeiters, and basically what happens is when you buy cheap paint, you actually are, as a customer, losing significant amount of money. Our paint is, we guarantee it for 5 years.
Plascon Paints have for a long time been involved in different community social responsibility activities, including support to the health sector.
In case we make any mistake or any complaints, please don't hesitate and allow us to improve more and more, and allow us to like how we can serve you in a better way. In case of anything, please don't hesitate, teach us, guide us, and support us the way you are doing, and see how far we can go. And
the Director, National Resistance Movement Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, has urged parents to take full responsibility over their children by advising them on how to handle the increasing moral decadence in the country. Seninde made the remarks at the swearing-in of the new leadership for students of Seta Parent School, Mukono.
The Director, National Resistance Movement Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, has commended Seta Parent School Administration for instilling leadership skills in the young generation.
Our dear incoming prefects, I believe you were prepared. You knew what you wanted, and that is why you decided to campaign. So I want to thank you for taking up the role and the roles of becoming the leaders in Seta Parents. One thing I would like to thank the teachers is that in most cases, our children fail to take up their ambitions when we don't prepare them. So I want to thank you for preparing these children, because I believe many of them wanted to become what they have become, and you've enabled them to achieve it.
Seninde used the opportunity to echo an appeal to parents about the increasing moral decadence in the country.
So I want to thank you for giving these children a chance, for encouraging them and for guiding them. And I believe, and I also know that you are all aware that leadership does not come out of the blue. A leader comes from, learns it from their childhood.
The director thanked the school administrators for helping children in achieving leadership skills at an early stage.
I would like to thank all the people who voted me. May God bless them, because we were 4 people, but they chose me.
I thank the children who vote me, because those people we used to go to the field, but when they don't have playing materials. So I stood up and I went to the head teacher and I said that we should have playing materials.
Thank God that he has helped me to win the post of assistant head girl. I also thank the electorate for choosing me to become the assistant head girl.
The leaders promised to serve diligently in their positions.
Moving on from that, the Bishop of Bunyoro-Kitara Diocese, the Right Reverend Samuel Kahuma, has advised Christians in Kagadi District and Bunyoro region at large to engage in commercial farming. Bishop Kahuma made the remarks during his pastoral visit to St. Luke Kagadi Archdiaconry in Kagadi District. He clarified the Anglican province has passed a policy for every church to have a coffee project alongside other income-generating projects at household level.
The Bishop of Bunyoro-Kitara Diocese, the Right Reverend Samuel Kahuma, has asked church leaders in the diocese to mobilize the public into embracing income-generating projects. The bishop was on a pastoral visit to St. Luke Church of Uganda Archdiaconry, where an estimated 200 children were confirmed into the Anglican Church.
And to ensure that the faith they have is not adulterated, especially in the age of today, where we have many false teachings, many heretics, and many other sorts of things. So if you are a Christian, if you are not careful, if you are not holding firm your faith, you can easily lose it. And when you lose it, you have lost your ticket to heaven, you have lost your passport to heaven. Keep your faith and make sure it is part and partial of your day-to-day experience.
He also laid a foundation stone for the construction of the church house. He asked Christians to live faithful lives and shun evil.
Confirming 200 candidates in the Christian faith is a big step forward in the building of the Church of God, because many of these are younger people who are growing, and since many of us are becoming of age, then we expect we will have a church and leadership that will come behind us.
The vicar of St. Luke Church of Uganda Archdiaconry, the Reverend Patrick Musinguzi, highlighted the success stories of the church.
What really disturbing me, especially in the community of Kagadi here, there is lack of responsibility that is growing. There is really like a Sunday. I need really to express it like this, that today like today is a Sunday, but now you hear these bidongo, what, these are the what.
The assistant head of laity in Bunyoro-Kitara Diocese, Kawasana Ali, said a number of successes in areas of renewal, project initiation, circles and union formation by the church leaders had been witnessed.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom Voice Bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Hey!
Paying your bills the old way.
Let's go. just need to buy some power.
Paying your bills with the My Airtel app.
Bro, there's a line.
You have the power in your pocket. The power to instantly pay your bills hassle-free. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Oh, you're back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're descending into Entebbe Airport. For those proceeding to Kampala City, the biggest event in East Africa is in town.
That's right, the East African Business Expo 2023 is happening from the 23rd to the 26th of March at Kololo Grounds. Join us to network, connect and grow. Contact us for exhibition or sponsorship opportunities. The 14th East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo 2023 is hosted by PPBA.
Now sit back and relax. It's time to explore great business opportunities.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. In more stories, commemorating women's emancipation requires putting in place policies and systems that will set the girl child economically and socially free. But today in Uganda, the girl child is not protected. Her safety is not guaranteed. They have to travel to Arab world and elsewhere to seek employment. But experts in ICT say there are areas that need to be addressed to ensure safety of the girl child.
World over March 8th is the day women set their tools aside and celebrate their emancipation. They plan and want policies that will empower women and the girl child. But in Uganda, things are different. Thousands of girl children are seeking employment in the Arab world into servile jobs. But are there opportunities in different sectors that can assimilate the girl child? Possibly yes or no. The ICT sector is open and can offer employment to the girl child through home industry manufacturing. Raza Ali is the proprietor of GSM 5G, a company that has solutions to the girl child.
The education system of this country is very classical, that every term we have a holidays. GSM 5G is only focusing on one thing, to teach the people of home industry, home manufacturing, of the mobile phone, which is the fastest growing selling product in the world. Even in Uganda, 44 million population, but we must focus how to manufacture in the home industry. And if one person can make 1,000 data cable per week, I guarantee you they will earn about 1 million shilling profit per week. As a youth, all problems will be sorted out.
All he needs is the support of government with policies that are friendly to the girl child.
We want to work with the government to train the youth, them to get the skill and they can use for their bright future, that tomorrow they can have a great future for the country and great future for by themselves.
This year's International Women's Day celebrations theme, Equal Opportunities in Education, Science and Technology for Innovation and a Gender Equal Future, under which the intervention falls.
We want to create independent girls around here. It will bring opportunity for them to learn the skill through us. Start manufacturing home industry, they will start manufacturing the products in their own home. It will stop us to go to abroad for the slavery, and it will bring a very good name for our country when the youth is too much highly skilled educated.
This seems to be one of the interventions from the private sector to set the girl child free, empower her economically to cater for her future. In this, Uganda's economy will get a highlight driven by the girl child.
Residents of Kachuru sub-county in Butembo district have been gifted with a mini irrigation scheme to aid in the growing of vegetables and other horticulture crops. The Woman Member of Parliament, Butembo District, Agnes Amide, says the project set to be rolled out across the district aimed at reducing rain-fed farming. The event for unveiling of the project was officiated by the State Minister for Cooperatives, Gume Frederick, who encouraged Butembo residents to embrace government programs.
This mini irrigation scheme is a new farming project here in Kachuru sub-county of Butembo district in the Bukedi sub-region of eastern Uganda. If all goes as envisioned, dependence on rain-fed farming will be a thing of the past. Bumba Foundation, a United Kingdom registered charity, has made it part of its interventions with a focus on poverty reduction.
We are investing the initial development and the cost to set the site up, and through our model the garden will also raise the funds to make it sustainable and continue even when we are not here.
Projected to cost 500 million Uganda shillings, 100 million has so far been invested. Agnes Amede, the Butembo District Woman Member of Parliament, is one of the main brains behind the project.
The government is putting a lot of emphasis on agriculture, especially modernizing agriculture using scientific methods like irrigation, so that people have enough food to eat and also to sell. Now that Uganda Airlines is planning to fly to the UK, perhaps the products can come direct from Kachuru and fly to the UK.
In agreement with Butembo District Chairperson James Okurut, both leaders agree on the need to have the initiative rolled out across the district.
Since every sub-county has extension workers, we are going to bring on board all the extension workers of the district to be the promoters and the champions of the knowledge that is going to be acquired here.
Horticulture will be promoted in this area, and it has the capacity of improving the people's incomes at a household level.
To oversee and officiate at the project unveiling was State Minister for Cooperatives Frederick Gume Ngobi. Equally impressed, he described the initiative as just the beginning.
We have also promised that we can be in a position to help the area member of parliament with the market. We have now the East African community, that's a larger population. We have the African Continental Free Trade area, larger market. We have the COMESA, all are big markets.
He wants residents here and other Ugandans to embrace such and other government programs.
I am appealing to the community to really safeguard this project and also be in a position to learn from here and send the same practices in their respective homes. This is a breakthrough.
The residents answer in affirmative, expressing readiness to embrace the new project.
N'abaana baisu tibabe bakaali balwale endwaire egikwatagana n'ebyo ebyasyondo. Kuba mu project eno twakufuna bingi so na twasobola okulimanga ebyaisu ne tutunda abaana baisu ne basobola okusoma.
Such is what government has been preaching over the years as a way of countering climate change related challenges in agriculture. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Bank of Uganda, the Ministry of Finance and the European Organization for Sustainable Development have launched the sustainability certification process. The initiative is a brainchild of the European Union strategy for sustainable development aimed at delivering a holistic, robust and locally sensitive set of standards to make value-driven financial institutions.
Sustainability standards and certification for transforming the economy to high-tech and high-end economy has been rolled out.
Robots are becoming economical, better, faster, and more reliable than us, the humans. And the impact of robotization of economy is across the globe, including in developing countries like Uganda. Artificial intelligence, 3D printing, machine learning, and other disruptive technologies are taking over jobs and changing the way we live, work, commute, produce, buy, sell, transact, invest, lend, and borrow money.
The process is in line with Bank of Uganda's mandate to promote price stability and sound financial system in support of social and economic transformation.
We will institutionalize an ESG framework in Bank of Uganda following a comprehensive, methodical, and well-structured approach with clear metrics for gauging success.
The sustainability standards and certification is a mechanism through which the three institutions will transform their mode of operation to deliver higher value to the communities they serve in addition to other stakeholders.
We can overcome and contribute to the sustainability goals of our country significantly if we work together as a team, and I'm emphasizing that one. I would like to commit to you to do everything I can to support improvements in the business and investment climate of the sector as you collaborate with me to address sustainability issues.
For financial institutions in Uganda, incorporating the SSCI into their strategies would mean deploying a creation mode which encompasses sustainability in the soul of organizations.
As long as you operate financial services and you are relying on technology platforms, it is a risk you face 24 hours on a daily basis. And as an institution, what we try to do is we've invested a lot in technology, trying to have the best defense mechanisms, defense platforms to counter or prevent any form of penetration or minimize as much as possible cyber risk fraud.
Post Bank Uganda, together with the Housing Finance Bank, are some of the financial institutions that have been enlisted in the initiative.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
Thank you so much for still keeping it on UBC. In our sports stories, Luzera's Youth Council have formed a sports committee to launch the second edition of Luzera Youth Tournament, which has 21 teams with the aim of reducing crimes in Luzera. Now, the parish chairperson, Sechiwonga Joshua, together with Luzera Youth Advocacy Structure and Rotaract Information.
Luzera parish leaders have launched Luzera Youth Tournament with the aim of promoting talents among the youth. Youth Chairman Sechiwonga Joshua asked the general public to come and join them to promote talents, plus creating unity among the youth residents in Luzera.
I'm very glad that the first edition we had for the tournament, it moved on well, and also we were on pressure that these people, they were in need of another second edition. This forced us to see that we organize the second edition. That's why we are here today. And today it's when we have launched our tournament today, to see that we promote our talents among the youth in our parishes. in our zones. In our parish we have 21 villages and all they are going to participate in this tournament. Although since last edition we faced a lot of challenges, but this time we want to see that we change these challenges. That's why we are working hand in hand with our leaders to see that we promote these talents.
The second edition tournament is aimed at reducing crime through promoting talents.
This will also help in fighting crime. These youths who are there smoking in Jaga, they don't have time for that if they are in this program. So we urge the other youth leaders within the division to copy, to see how Joshua is doing his thing.
Me, I look at sports as a gift. Not everybody can participate, but I appeal to those ones who are able to come together and participate.
The winner has been promised a cow and 2 million shillings.
That brings us to the end of UBC News Tonight that started at 8 p.m. and it's come to an end at 1 minute past 9 p.m. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon Chomdisha. Have a good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Ladies and gentlemen,